Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashisha Mage Gahe Tava Jaya Gata जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
A very good evening to one and all present. We welcome you all to the launch of Vision 2035 and dedication of Anusandhan Kendra 3 and 4 by the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Vaidya Subramaniam, to welcome the Veneral Assembly.
Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, revered Chancellor of Sastra, full-time Director and CFO of Keynes Technology, faculty colleagues, special invitees, members from the district administration, friends from the print and the electronic media, student friends, and all those who are watching this event live online as well. A very good evening to all of you. I'm extremely happy to welcome the Honorable Governor to Sastra Deemed University on behalf of the management, on behalf of the staff, students, on behalf of the people of Tanjore, and on my personal behalf to this institution. And his visit at this point of time is so appropriate because it is a celebratory coincidence of confluencing timelines that the institution is witnessing at this point of time. 40 years of the institution as it started as Shanmuga College of Engineering in 1984 and 25 years of Shastra as a university as it became one in 2001 is this converging timeline that makes this event so appropriate. And when we ask the question ourselves, what could be a good platform to begin the celebration of this confluence? Our mind pushed back to the formative years of this institution. When we were affiliated to the Bharatidasan University, at that point of time, again, one great academician who was the Vice Chancellor there, Dr. Jnanam, he gave a very profound advice, which I learned from my predecessors, that when you start an affiliated college, please make sure that it becomes a university, because a character of a higher education institution is complete only if it is composite in its character. It cannot be just a single disciplinary university as an engineering college. Please think of becoming a university. And moving further, when we had Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam as the head of the DRDO and the principal scientific advisor visiting us in 1998, when we had a small production center as part of our mechanical engineering facility, his advice was, why so small a facility? Think big, have a bigger facility. And that's how we created the advanced manufacturing facility. And with all those facilities and no looking back on the academic milestones that we crossed in 2001, we became a university. And after becoming a university, we told ourselves we are no longer going to be a teaching institution, but a research center as well. And that is why when we established the first research center, the Center for Nanotechnology and Advanced Biomaterials, by the time Dr. Kalam became the President of India, and he came here to inaugurate that center. And before that also inaugurated the center in Kumbakonam, thereby also telling us that it is not only engineering, but sciences is also something that you have to do, because the Kumbakonam center was in honor of the great mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan. And that time during that visit, we distinctly remember that if it is just one research center that I'm coming here to inaugurate, the next time I should see a lot of such research centers. And true to his words, when he came back again in 2014, saw the research centers, and that's when we had the blueprint for our Vision 2025, which was released by Dr. Kalam in 2015 April. And that actually laid down the roadmap for the transformation that we saw in the last decade, explaining the various progress that this institution has made. The reason that I'm highlighting all of this at this point of time is that we had people of that stature to ask the right question to us, and we internalized ourselves into working teams to provide answers that can provide these progressive milestones for the institutions to proceed further. And now we are here at the crossroads of this confluence, year 2024 almost coming to a close. There is another question, but the person who has asked the question is different. It is our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who has asked the question that if we have to create Vikshit Bharat, what is going to be the role of higher education institutions? As somebody who has closely observed the evolution of higher education at the global level, having spent my time seeing a lot of literature, there is always this reference to Harvard, Stanford, Caltech, Oxford, Cambridge, despite the fact that we had our own centers of excellence in the past. Now, the question that we asked ourselves, if 10 years from now, history has to record the evolution of higher education at a global level, what will be the contribution of India in that type of a global landscape that is dedicated for higher education? And that is the larger question that we have to answer in the next 10 years that Sastra will be entering into, because that is the perfect pedestal for our institution when we celebrate our 50th year in 2035. It is with this backdrop, we formed a lot of working teams, made sure that the Vision 2035 document refreshes our past, realizes the status quo present, and reimagine the future as the institution progresses its march for the next 10 years. And I'm extremely happy that we have amidst us the Honorable Governor to release the Vision 2035 document, because we see in him an intellectual leader who has the capacity to also give words of wisdom that can build institutions of our type to achieve greater heights as we move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. I also take this opportunity to also welcome Mr. Jairam Sampath, the whole-time director and CFO from Kaynes Technologies, along with the CEO of Kaynes Semicon, other distinguished guests, my faculty colleagues, student friends. I am extremely happy that I am welcoming you for this momentous occasion, which not only is going to lay down the roadmap for our institutional progress through the Sastra Vision 2035 document, but just before we entered this, all the Honorable Governor also dedicated those two amazing research facilities to the nation, thereby making that research quadrangle complete in terms of the multidisciplinary efforts that we are trying to put in place to make sure that this Sastra University is a composite university that offers high quality teaching, training, research, and consultancy, thereby enriching lives and livelihoods to learners from different parts of the geography that come into this remote village in Tanjore. With this background, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our revered Chancellor, Professor R. Sethuraman, to felicitate the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu with a token of our gratitude. Let's now take a look at an audiovisual presentation on Shastra.
Also technologies that run engineering. Critically experience programs that equip you with the skills that matter in the real world.
To what transformation can bring to change the life and livelihood of many learners and the immediate society. The various milestones that the institution has achieved, beginning from the recognition from the Tamil Nadu state government, the approval from the All India Council for Technical Education, the accreditation from NBA, the first institution of this type to get accredited, then becoming an autonomous institution, then becoming a deemed university in 2001, establishing various research programs, research centers, new programs transcending engineering to also include management, law, sciences, humanities, education. Shastra is truly a composite and comprehensive university that has added significant value to various learners from different parts of the country. The contribution of Shastra in the teaching, learning, and research ecosystem has been phenomenal in the last 40 years, making it an institution that one should be proudly associated with.
Established in 1984, Shastra has consistently pushed the boundaries of education. Shastra is a beacon of excellence with deep traditions focused on creating a brighter future. A premier institution of the country, renowned for quality education, research, innovation, and empowering the next generation.
Connecting with Shastra is connecting with success. Welcome to Shastra and stay connected with us.
Sastra exceeds your expectations in every step of the way. From high-tech equipments to world-class faculty, be a part of unparalleled learning experience with a focus on holistic development and transformative educational environment. Sastra makes sure that you come out as an achiever.
State-of-the-art infrastructure and modern facilities create an excellent learning environment. Well, labs and research facilities at Sastra are essential for academic success.
Whether you're developing software, designing cutting-edge hardware, or exploring AI, you'll gain the skills to lead in today's tech-driven world.
There is a need to build a capacity in emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, bio-nanomaterials, cyber-physical systems, digital manufacturing, electronics manufacturing, energy and environment, making this A, B, C, D, E demand more visible, and our efforts to build capacity in these emerging technologies will always be unabated.
Sastra's focus on research and development has given me the opportunity to contribute to groundbreaking life projects and be at the forefront of technological advancements.
Sastra Hub for Research and Innovation is a magnificent edifice constructed over 4.5 lakh square feet, housing various research labs of multidisciplinary nature, technology business incubators, and various central instrumentation facilities. The quality of work that happens here is truly world class.
Here, we turn ideas into impactful solutions. The support and resources available in Sastra are incredible.
To scale entrepreneurship and to also get a feeling of being one's own boss, the 3 incubation centers at Sastra is a fertile ground where new ideas are tested to build successful prototypes and move further to build large enterprises.
Sastra University's engineering programs are designed to foster innovation, critical thinking, and hands-on learning, with a strong emphasis on interdisciplinary education, cutting-edge research, and industry collaboration. These programs prepare students to tackle real-world challenges. Law School at Sastra stands tall among the country's premier law schools, offering a rigorous and interdisciplinary professional education designed with a comprehensive curriculum. The law programs prioritizes public service with a commitment to diversity within the legal profession. The School of Management at Sastra nurtures business leaders for a better world through the highest of values. The management program is designed to provide collaborative, creative, and entrepreneurial education to future business leaders.
More than a university, Sastra is your launchpad for a successful career. Strong industry connections and a dedicated placement team will help you land the job of your dreams.
The impressive placement record at Sastra is because of Shastra's merit-based admission policy, true to its tagline, think merit, think transparency, think Shastra. Shastra students will always have a competitive edge over the rest when it comes to campus placements. Student life at Sastra doesn't stop with academics. It goes beyond that. Life at hostel, the cultural activities, sports, the festive buzz in the campus, all this makes Shastra students' life very special. Shastra's leadership in education to achieve progressive sustainability, Shastra Leads, is the guiding model of Shastra through its integrated approach towards teaching, training, research, and consultancy, and its constant effort to achieve excellence, make Shastra one of the progressive and premier universities in India. The 40 years of Shastra is a reason to celebrate. The next 10 years is for the institution to celebrate as we approach to 50 years of Shastra, which will be a significant landmark in the historical annals of this institution.
Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to witness the MOU exchange between Kaynes Technology and Shastra, spearheaded by Sri Jairam P. Sampath from Kaynes Technology and Professor S. Vaidya Subramaniam from Shastra. I now request Sri Jairam P. Sampath, Whole-time Director and CFO, Kaynes Technology, to put forth the special address. Please, sir.
Just start with a small invocation. The Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, the most respected Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, all my friends. It's a very small Sanskrit shloka which says, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So all the teachers here, I don't not only include the professors here, but also the students. Because the biggest teaching comes from the peer group. So biggest influences on people's attitudes are their friends. So on that note, I would like to just say a few words about our company. There's something about 1980s. So we'll also be shortly in 2028 completing 40th year. Just like Shastra has completed 40th year last year, I'm told. And from what I see here and what I hear about your great organization, you have achieved a lot and a lot more to achieve, right? I'm also told that the biggest of the trees, the seeds are the smallest. So our company started in 1988. Our promoter, founder, Mr. Ramesh Kandan. He came out of college just like most of you will get out of college some point in time. And he wanted to do something on his own. And he, of course, we had the advantage of Larsen and Toubro and Wipro, etc., being there nearby. So they had some program to encourage entrepreneurs. They set up a very small assembly unit, of which he was the supervisor, he was the worker, he was the manager. It was in his home. He used to take components and assemble and then deliver. So in the beginning, probably people would have thought, what is this industry setting up? But actually that attitude, that hands-on approach has actually brought us today. Today, we are a 3,000 crore sales company. We are respected by most of the stakeholders, whether it's government, the Honorable Minister for IT, Electronics and Railways, Vaishnoji actually mentioned our name in one of his key addresses in the technology, much to our surprise. Investors like us, our customers love us. We have 250 odd customers. So what has made this journey possible? This journey is possible because of not just one person, but lots of people who joined, like such as people sitting here. So I think one of the messages that I would like to, so today we are an integrated EMS player, okay, integrated electronic manufacturing services player, and all those things that you showed in the video, fortunately we have started using those, whether it's an AGV, whether it's a robotic, whether it's a semicon assembly, whether it's a surface mount technology, whether it's design systems, whether it is PCB design, all of it we have actually done. And we were a little ahead of our time because we didn't have resources, but somehow we made space for all of those technological development. And so today we are an integrated EMS player. And obviously we are doing more than what our capacity permits us, right? And that's how I think everybody in India should do. And so we are in FY28, we will complete our 40th year. And with everybody's blessings and God's grace, we'd probably do $1 billion turnover there. And so one of the things that I want to leave a message here, very important message, that India has come of age. So there is no requirement for us to be defensive about working in India, being in India, doing business in India, and so on. I can, without any qualification, without any fear, I can state this, that India is the most influential nation on earth today. We have the best governed banks. We have the best governance system. We have most of the governments, whether it's state government or the central, they are now looking up towards investment. Actually, India has come together at the right time. When the rest of the world is in strife, they are not knowing whom to select as president. Some people don't know whom to fight with. India is getting its act together. So this is the time when we can actually take leadership. And the people sitting here are the biggest resource that India has. We don't have money, right? No, well, actually, we have a lot of money, by the way, because we have 140 billion people. Even though per capita income is low, we have plenty of investment opportunities also available. So India's time has come. India is a large consumer. India's intellectual property is pretty high. Thanks to all those things subliminally happening, people silently doing their work, great institutions such as Sastra and other companies. So India's time has come. It is going to be worthwhile working in companies in India. It'll create wealth for you guys. One of the messages that I always tell people is don't work for a salary. Work to create wealth, either for yourself, if you want to, or for others. Create wealth for the country. And that's possible today. Now, one of the important, let's say, tools for doing that is to be ahead of technology. 40 years ago, India imported old dies and made Ambassador car and some Premier car, etc., right? Very old generation cars. We paid actually good money to buy old equipment. Not so today. Today, we are talking about companies setting up state-of-the-art facilities. So today, 1 rupee we spend, it's actually at the highest edge of technology. So today, in semicon, for instance, Semicon, my colleague Raghu heads this particular thing. We have exceeded our abilities. Actually, the capex in Semicon is roughly about 8 times more than the total gross capex of our existing company. We are bringing the latest generation of assembly. Our objective is to stand head to head, shoulder to shoulder in front of the Taiwanese and Japanese and, of course, Chinese and everybody else. We start humbly. We start by learning what it is. We start with simple legacy packaging. And we actually will conclude with advanced packaging, including co-packaged optics. There are lots of technological advancements that happen. We take advantage of the technology leapfrog that has happened in the industry. So today, when we buy this equipment with whatever capex that we have, we actually come at the top end of the spectrum. And we also have decided to put in a plant, most probably it is in Tamil Nadu, the PCB board fabrication, high density interconnection board fabrication, which is typically the province of South Koreans and Taiwanese and Israelis and Germans and Americans, right? So we are going to put right here in this state, this facility. And so that's also going to be very, very high end. So the lesson of all this is that we must aim for the best, because today everything has come together for us. You will not have this window of opportunity after 10 years. After 10 years, our other countries will take over. Technology is a very fast race. So make the best out of these particular things and make sure that, of course, we a little bit about our collaboration with Shastra. See, what I see here today is something was not available 20, 30 years ago. We did have centers of excellence, we did have large institutions, etc. But this industry and academies of excellence coming together to shoulder the burden of growing India's, let's say, technological arsenal was not there in this scale. And what I see today, I think, is highly encouraging. And we'll definitely like to take this forward. We have just signed an MOU. This is just a small seed. We like this to grow into bigger opportunities for both the organizations. And next time when we come here, we'll probably have something physical to show you guys. In the meanwhile, please feel free to reach out to any of us. Join us in our journey. It's very important that you lend your bright minds and a little bit of investment of time from your side. And make sure that you partake or you take advantage of this growth this country is actually witnessing today of really becoming great. Your generation is actually uniquely, let's say, blessed, because the previous generations had the burden of becoming, let's say, independent country and then building basic infrastructure and so on and so forth. So this is the time, this is the payback time, and I think you can do a great amount of work. I see a lot of what I saw during my walks, etc. I understand that you have close to 12,000 plus 5,000 students working, and it's a very large body of students in this institution. And I'm sure you can help at least 10, 15 companies to achieve their goals and so on. In the process, you will also become excellent professionals. So I'm a little selfish, so my message is only about how to further interests of our organizations together and how to further your interests. But in the meanwhile, we should not forget one important, let's say, thank you to the central government specifically. Last 2 tenures and now continuing into the third tenure, they have changed the strategy, and they, which has actually brought us all these riches. They started with something called Make in India. So Make in India was saying that, hey guys, do please come and do production in India. So they used to ask why we should come to India. You don't have technology, you don't have money, you don't have anything, I don't like you, and so on, right? Then they made it Atmanirbhar Bharat, and that was the thing which changed. Said, okay, fine, you don't come. What I consume, make it here. And that is what we are actually reaping the benefits from. And then a lot of investment into technology and a lot of bold initiatives. So I think so that's a very important factor. Without that, a lot of steam goes out of our events, actually, sales. So it's very important that you get governmental support, which is there today. Most state governments are extremely encouraging. People are available. So let's do our best to make sure that we capitalize on these tailwinds and set sail for greater growth and prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful words. I request our Vice Chancellor to felicitate Shri Jairam P. Sampath. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely honored to request the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu to launch Shastra Vision 2035 and present copies to the dignitaries. May I please request the Honorable Governor to felicitate the core committee members of Shastra Vision 2035, comprising of the convener, Professor S. Swaminathan, Professor S. Pugarandi, Professor K. S. Rajan, Professor K. Uma Maheshwari, Professor R. John Bosco Balaguru, Professor V. S. Shankar Sriram, and Dr. S. Anuradha. Dear audience, with utmost pride and privilege, I request the Honorable Governor to deliver the chief guest. I apologize. May I now request with utmost pride and privilege our Honorable Governor to deliver the chief guest address.
Most respected Chancellor of Sastra University, Professor Thiru R. Sethuraman, respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Vaidya-Subramanian, full-time Director and CFO, Keynes Technology, Thiru Jairam Sampath, Dean Planning and Development, Dr. S. Swaminathan, distinguished faculties, invitees, staff of the university, and my dear students. When Dr. Vaidya Subramaniam, he invited me to come to this place, I was more than excited. I had heard about it. In fact, I lost one opportunity in the past because I remember the very first year when you came to invite me, couldn't make it because of my other commitments. So there was a sense of loss. So I happily came and had a tour of the campus, a brief tour, I must say. the positive vibrations that I could feel it here. The institutions, the infrastructures that you have created, and the work culture which you have cultivated, the team spirit which you have developed as a family, Sastra family, indeed is commendable and something to be proud of. Having a brief visit to the facilities, research facilities, and seeing the intensity of industry academia connect here, I'm quite confident that the Sastra will go a long way in building a new Bharat, new India. I also have, it was a pleasant moment, maybe the coincidence, that we found the dynamic leaders of Keynes technology, had the advantage of listening to them, and then getting a feel, a sense of how confident our young leaders of new emerging advanced technology field are. It has been an energizing experience for me. The occasion today has been to release the vision document of this university for the next 10 years, what you wish to achieve in the coming one decade. I have gone through it. It's very encouraging to see how this institution has been making quantum leap forward in all aspects, be it not just expansion in terms of infrastructure, but qualitative improvement, or I should say it's not improvement, but transformation. The intellectual property, you have made a quantum leap. Number of PhDs, you have gone up many times. Of course, your collaboration with industries have been something that other institutions should envy and be proud of. Friends, while I wish this university, these institutions, the very best, because we look upon this institution as one of the national assets to which the country will look forward for guidance, for the light, for the journey into the future. Here, while the university has a vision, and I can see that the vision is very much aligned with our national vision. Our national vision is to be a Viksit, a fully developed India by 2047. We heard our young leader from the Keynes Technologies, Sri Jairam Sampat, talking about how transformation has been happening in the last one decade. And he tried to figure out what could be the reason behind it, what has been making the change or making the difference. Friends, when India became independent, We were the sixth largest economy in the world, despite all the exploitations by the colonial powers. Till the beginning of the 19th century, we were the largest economy of the world. The world was a market for India. Not for 100 years, 200 years, for over 2000 years. And history is replete with this evidence, the fact how India used to dominate the world market with its product. We all know that we all love gold, but India does, and we have plenty of golds, but we don't have a gold mine or gold place from where we can extract gold, a few here and there, a small one. But still we have so much gold because we got the gold through our trade. It became actually, some historians call it, India was the sink for the global gold. All the gold was coming to India. But we had lost. We had lost in 200 years. We came down. Unfortunately, after independence, in the subsequent nearly 7 decades, we dipped to 11th position. We became poorer. We got more marginalized. Not that the people didn't wish, those who were running the country, they didn't wish bad. They did, good. They did wish good for the country. But somehow the vision was missing. They looked at this country as assortment of people, different languages, different regions. Diversity was looked at differences, and we started building the country as if we are building a new country, forgetting the past, forgetting the inherent strength. If in last 10 years, if from the 11th economy we have come to the 5th largest, and the world acknowledges that in the next couple of years we will be the 3rd largest, the transformation has happened not because it is driven by the government, but it is by the vision of the national leadership. We have a leader today who looks at this country not in segments, not in compartments, not divided, not in terms of divisions, but as a family. This is how Bharat was. Bharat cannot be understood by the modern definition, political definition of a state. Because people ask you, tell me, who was the ruler who ruled the whole country? No, nobody. But Bharat has never been a rural-centric Rashtra or a nation. It has been society-centric. There have been numerous kings, emperors, and often at war with each other. Well, I may not say often, but at times at war with each other. But yet, there was something inherent, deeper than politics or language and vaster than geography, that defined this country as Bharat, as India. The oneness at the level of people. And it was this oneness that the British had realized. And at the very beginning of colonization, and they tried to destroy that oneness by destroying our sense of self and destroying the institutions that kept us together. And after they left, we continued with the colonial vision of this country. You know, Churchill is known to have said, India is a geographic expression. Like equator, you cut it into 1,000 pieces, doesn't make a difference. And that is the vision we inherited. And our leadership continued with that vision. We kept building roads, we kept building hospitals, we kept building colleges and schools. We kept generating electricity, and we remained hugely disconnected, lack of infrastructure, sick, uneducated, underfed or ill-fed or no fed. The problems kept multiplying and we kept addressing the problem in segments, piecemeal, piecemeal. Your piecemeal approach to solve the problem was, it happens because when you do not look at as a country, as a family, when you have a large family, suppose some people fall sick, can you decide that no, I will provide medicines to so and not to the other? When you have a limited food, do you say that no, somebody will go hungry, somebody will eat? No, you cannot. The sense of looking at this country from the perspective that held this country together for several thousand years as one family. It was that sense that my grandmother from somewhere in Bihar, a village, traveled to Rameswaram, to Kanchipuram, to all the places, Dwarka, without realizing, not even for a moment, that she was going to a different place. She thought she was going on her own. There are people to look after. That sense of oneness. And when you have that sense of oneness, your problems do not appear as insurmountable, a major problem. No. You can do it. The confidence in our people. Earlier approach was that government was this, like a Mai-Bap, like a government will do everything. And people, the relation between the people and the government was that of a client and a patron. No. This is a country of 140 crores people. Look at their energy, their intelligence, their capability. Trust them. Harness them. Remove the impediments. Let them come. And look what is happening today. From nowhere, with hardly a few hundred startups, today we are more than 125,000 startups. More than 100 of them are unicorn today. Who is doing this? It is it's people like young people, young men and women like you. It's not that the government is doing it. If we are today among the top countries, few countries in every domain, it is because our people are doing it. Simple thing. Building toilets. Our country, we had a dubious distinction of 60% of our people going for open defecation. Nobody talked about it. Nobody talked. It's a cultural issue. Too simple for big government to even think about it. But when government decided that we must overcome it, within 5 years, this country became open defecation free, complete. We have a huge women population, half the population. We have been talking about women empowerment. What? It is a very condescending attitude. You empower women? Why should? They are the power themselves. You remove the obstacles. Let them come up. And that is what is happening today when our women are marching forward in every field. And even the last bastion has been removed. The barricade has been removed even to the defense in the combat. Our young women are flying fighter bombers. Trust the people. Trust their capacity. Trust their sense of goodness. Trust their sense of patriotism. Earlier, it was on distrust. How come our tax revenue has multiplied many times? Till 10 years back, we had just about 20 million taxpayers, direct taxpayer I'm talking. Today, we have over 100 million. 5 times increase. How? Trust the people. They will pay. People have good sense. So far, earlier, the governments had been believing with the distrust, trying to disbelieve the people, disbelieve those, look at people, those who create wealth with suspicion. Convoluted mindset. And our country remained stunted. Nobody took us seriously. Nobody took us seriously. Many of you might have read about or must have heard about Lee Kuan Yew, the man who built Singapore, a fishing hamlet in the 50s. And within 3 to 4 decades, it became a model city-state for the world. This man was a close observer of India because we were being decolonized almost at the same time. India being the largest country getting decolonized, all the countries of Asia which were colonized before, and even Africa kept looking at India with hope, which way India goes, to learn from it. But India didn't. Lee Kuan Yew, a close observer of India, when there was a time when emergency was imposed on this country, he came and met the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister, thinking that here is a strong, bold Prime Minister who can take decision, can impose emergency on a country like India, can take bold economic decision as well. And he asked, Madam Prime Minister, take bold decision. You are earning 25 paise and spending 1 rupee. This is not a sustainable, you cannot grow. And then he got a disappointing reply. And then he said, India at best can be a military power. India can never be an economic power. He dismissed it. But what happened in last 10 years? Today, India is looked upon by the world with expectation for leadership in every field. No worthwhile decision in the world can be taken without India being on the table. And this marching forward India has a vision that in the next 2.5 decades, we must be a fully developed country, Viksit Bharat. And it is our duty, institutions and individuals, and a Sastra institution included, and all the individual students included, faculty included. Our vision must be aligned with the national vision. We are all doing great work. This institution has been doing great work, phenomenal, very, very encouraging. And in many ways, it is, whether it is articulated or not, I see it aligned with the national vision. And when we say our national vision of 2047, a Viksit Bharat, what does it mean? Does it mean that we should be just merely a very rich and prosperous country? Does it merely mean that we should be a very powerful country? No. It is much more than that. You know, friends, after the Second World War, we have seen the world for the last almost 8 decades has been led by the United States of America. Of course, other countries have been playing the role, but lead role. We have developed, those countries have developed technologically, and they have taken the lead, and they have been taking the lead. But this development that has happened it has created huge imbalance. It has not addressed the problem of global inequality. It has not addressed the problem of poverty. It has not addressed the problem of peace. It has not addressed the problem of a sustainable environment. In fact, it has been doing the other way. It has aggravated the problem. It has created imbalance in a way that seemed fatal today. So this mode of development is not what is going to sustain the world. This mode of development, which United States and other European countries have adopted, the rest of the world has followed, is essentially technology driven, and rightly so. And if you look at from the perspective of institution, I would like to add, because today you have released a vision document, that what made United States of America to lead the world for all these, and we see that in foreseeable future it is going to continue to lead them. Why? What happened in the United States? It wasn't there until the Second World War. UK was the leading power. Europe was the center of gravity of knowledge. But suddenly after the war, Second War, it shifted. Gradually it shifted completely. there some institution played very valuable role. And one such institution which I am tempted to mention here, which played a very seminal role in making US the leader in nuclear and digital revolution, was the Institute of Advanced Studies in Princeton, established in 1933. 1933, an institution was created in Princeton with endowment from some affluent people, some family. Good. A philanthropist gave the money, they established. And then Abraham Flexner, who was the first director, he attracted the talents. First, Albert Einstein. Then Niels Bohr. Then great Hungarian mathematician, John von Neumann, person of terrestrial, extreme wisdom, sharp, the person who actually founded computer, Alan Turing. He attracted the talents and they started working. That institution with a vision where 6 years down the line, when he handed over the institution, in his report, he said, if we work with courage and imagination 50 years down the line, historians will report that 50 years down the line, historians will report that we shifted the center of gravity of knowledge from Europe across the Atlantic to US. And that is where they took up all the Manhattan projects and whatnot, so many things, so many. Institutions shaped the destiny of a nation, destiny of a country, and destiny of the world as well. It's a vision they started. Here, when we are growing, India is moving forward. India's vision is not just a material or technological advancement, which we must have. There's no question. But at the same time, India must grow forward with its values. Internal and external growth. External growth is technology, science, material development we must have. But at the same time, an internal growth so that we live with each other as a family, not as only the humans, but human, animal, plants, the world. That is why we call it Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And in here, our old saying is Yadam Ure Yavarum Kelir, because we are one family. And India is walking the talk. Take the case in the past, COVID. When COVID struck the world, and nobody knew the nature of the beast first, and subsequently when some advanced countries developed the vaccines, expectation was that since this virus did not spare anyone, there would be manifestation of inherent compassion among human beings, and they would share the vaccines with the less privileged, with the poor people. It didn't happen. It became an opportunity for making more money. Thanks to our scientists, when our scientists made the vaccine, we shared the vaccines with over 150 countries in the world. This is India walking the talk. G20. G20 has been there for a couple of decades. But when India got the presidency, it said, no, it has to be inclusive. The whole African Union was nowhere. Why? Such a mass of humanity. Because they are poor? Because they are deprived? Should they be away? No, this is not possible. This is not acceptable. We have to create an inclusive and equitable world and sustainable world. It is only possible when we take everyone. This has been our received wisdom for millennia. And so African Union was made. the member of G20. Again, here is a case where India is walking the talk. Take the case of conflict in the world. We have wars across. The prevailing position of the country was either you are this side or that side or neutral. India gave the fourth way. No. India is not neutral. India is on the side of the peace. And we do not accept violence as an instrument or as a means of, or a war as a means of resolving a conflict. It has to be on the table. The result is, when India speaks and tells Ukraine and Russia to stop fighting because we have to evacuate our tens of thousands of our countrymen there, both the countries listen to India, they stop the fight, and we evacuate every Indian out of Ukraine. Every conflict, conflicting party, the warring countries, they look upon India with expectation and hope that perhaps India can can help us resolving the issue. This is new India. And this new India is being built with a vision of India being a family, vision that rise of India is for the good of the world, vision that we are not exploitative, we believe in harmonious coexistence, harmonious symbiotic coexistence. Is not based on mercantile principles. So these are our values. So we are growing in the domain of science, technology, and related economic sectors. We are also trying to reinforce, strengthen our institutions, which have been the watering holes of our values. So we find a cultural resurgence as well. So cultural resurgence takes care of our internal growth. And science, technology, and economic development is for the external growth, a balanced growth. India, when we say about Viksit India, a developed India, an India which is not just leading in terms of science and technology, which it must, but at the same time, the dream, what Swami Vivekananda had, what Sri Aurobindo had for India. Swami Vivekananda had a vision that, look, he had a vision that India should be such that its muscles are made of iron, its sinews are of steel, but its heart is compassionate, Vedantic. Such an India was the dream. Rishi Aurobindo, sitting here in Pondicherry when he did the meditation and he did this in his spiritual journey. He come up at the time of when India became independent on 15th of August 1947, he wrote down his dream. He jotted down. He says, now the time has come. Time has come for India to fulfill its divine obligation. And what is the divine obligation? Sri Aurobindo said that, look, on this whole planet, first of all, in the entire universe, as far as we know, India is the only country, the Earth is the only planet where life is in the evolutionary state. At the different stages of evolution, you have small creatures, Jad, Chetan, Jeev, Chaitanya, at different stages of evolution. And on this planet, India is the only country where this light came several thousand years ago, that entire creation is a family. We are all related. We are all related. Human, animals, planet. We have hundreds of people sitting here. These differences are apparent at some level, at the most fundamental level. We are all one and the same. And even science today tells that over 99% of our genes with the entire humanity we share. We share our genes with everything, with plantain. They say about 60% of the genes we share with the bananas. We are all part of a family. That light, that awareness came only in this land. Why only in this land? No, why not anywhere else? And then Sri Aurobindo said it was divine. It was a divine wish for India to spread this light to the rest of the world. And that is why when G20 came, India's stated the motto for the G20 is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, what we call in family, what we say, one earth, one family, one future. When we say one earth, it's not only human beings, it's the human, animal, plants, everything. Birds and bees included. This light, this vision has to be spread for the good of the world. When we say a Viksit Bharat by 2047, India must be in a position. This wisdom was there with us for long. But the wisdom to be spread, you must have the strength as well. So you must just internal strength is not enough. You must be externally also strength. You must be strong. And that is the responsibility that we all have. Friends, today we are at a time when we see the changes happening. We are talking about the future, and that is what the vision is all about. But you know, the future belongs to those who create the future, who shape the future. Otherwise, for the others, it is only catching up. You will keep catching. When we see the future, we see in the field of science and technology, the way it is transforming, the advanced technologies, whether it is a generative AI, whether it is synthetic biology, whether it is a nanorobotics, all the fields, the way it is going to transform. Now, there are works going on from the nano to pico, 1 into 10 to the power minus 12. Look at the stage we are going to the subatomic level with that precision. And imagine when you have the nanobots around, what all things can happen. Generative artificial intelligence people are talking about singularity, that the days are not far when the machine and humans will be integrated in a way that it become indistinguishable. They're trying to expand the cortex, that most advanced part of your brain where you do the sophisticated calculations. Creating cortex on a silicon chip. All these things are just revolutionary. You do not know what the world is going to be 10 years hence. Because what is happening today was not known 10 years before. We are moving at that pace. And in this space, if we have to be where we wish to be, I think we have to be conscious of that uncertain future where it is. And to begin with, these are the areas where the rest of the world is moving. When I say rest of the world, advanced countries of the world is moving. We have to be conscious and we have to devote ourselves on those areas. We have a problem of meeting the needs of our people. Yes, we must solve the problems. But at least at the same time, while we are solving the people's problem, the day-to-day problem, which must be our priority. But at the same time, there must be a corner. And I would urge Sastra to have a corner like Institute of Advanced Studies where you have a basic science research. Because I heard Sri Jairam Sampath saying that 10 years, we have a 10 years window and thereafter we might be overtaken, we might lose it. Of course, I agree that we do not have a day to waste. But I don't believe that we have just 10 years window. We have no time to waste. We have no time to say idle way. We have plenty of time, no? We have to keep leaping forward. Incremental is not an option. But at the same time, we have to think what the world is going to be 10 years hence, and are we equipped with that? If we are not equipped for that, then we will always be lagging behind. And we cannot be equipped unless we also invest something in basic science research. So basic science research also must be a part. And I think this is an institution of promise. Because I can see that this institution is not like any other institution. It stands apart. It stands apart in its vision, in its culture, entire ecosystem here. And so one also has an expectation that you will also have a corner for basic science research where they should also develop, keep working on the frontiers of science, pushing the frontier behind. That should be the part of the vision as well. I have no doubt that Sastra has many heights to conquer, and it will conquer with flying colors, because it has all the right ingredients together. And I urge the students, those who are privileged to be studying, learning at such a center, each one of you must bear in your mind, each one of you, that you are a national asset as well. It is not just you, it is not just your family. Of course, you and your family are core, but you are much more than that. Each one of you, bear in mind. And I ask you to keep a question in your mind, answer to which you should seek with you from yourself on the 15th August 2047, when India celebrates the centenary of her independence. Each one of you, what did I do to make this nation great? What was my contribution to make this country great? The answer to this question will give the meaning and purpose to your life. Think of that. Keep that in mind. Never have a small dream. You will never be larger than your dream. Be sure about it. An institution will not grow beyond its vision. If your dreams are small, you will remain stunted. We heard previous speaker talking about it's like from institution going from a seed to a tree. Each one of you are like the seeds of a banyan tree. I don't know how many of you have seen nowadays people in there. We are so much detached that we have not seen the banyan tree. You see the banyan, a small tiny seed, and in that seed is hidden a mammoth tree. Each one of you are that. My appeal to you would be grow that. And if you grow, don't remain stunted. Have a large dream, grow, and in your growth will be the nation growth. I'm sure you will keep this in mind. Institution will continue growing, industries will continue expanding, and all of us together will be celebrating the forward, successful march of our great country, India. Thank you for the opportunity that you gave to me. Thank you for to be with you. Thank you. Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring us with your words of wisdom. May I now request Professor S. Swaminathan, Dean Planning and Development, to put forth his words of thanks.
Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, revered Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, faculty colleagues, students, friends, guests, a very good evening. It's indeed an honor for me to propose the word of thanks for today's momentous occasion. That's the launch of Shastra Vision 2035 document, Shastra Leaps, the dedication of ASK 3 and 4, and the exchange of MOU between Keynes and Shastra. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu for his inspiring words and valuable insights. Sir, your insightful thoughts on traversing the evolution of institutions, contribution of academia to national growth, and the responsibility of every Indian to contribute to Viksit Bharat 2047 has indeed set the tone for our exciting journey ahead. Sir, your presence today in the campus has added immense value, and I must honestly agree that I have no words to adequately express it, since you covered from philosophy to science to technology and to the future of unknown. Thank you very much, sir. Our special thanks to our revered Chancellor for his untiring efforts to transform Shanmuga College of Engineering to a multi-campus, multidisciplinary, and a multi-dimensional Shastra. Your leadership continues to inspire, and we look forward to your continued support and encouragement as we chart the course towards a brighter future. I take this opportunity to also thank the Vice Chancellor for providing a dynamic leadership in the campus. I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our industry collaborators, Sri Jairam Sampath, Sri Raghu Panikar from Keynes Technology, for exchanging the MOU today to set up a COE at Shastra. And we truly appreciate your commitment to fostering the industry academic collaboration, which will provide all learners with incredible opportunities for growth and learning. The vision document today not only reflects our aspirations. True to its name, Shanmuga, the vision document is also built on 6 foundational objectives and built with 8 thematic pillars, which are catalyzed by 32 enablers to trigger 128 empowering initiatives to deliver 64 elevated outcomes, and all in the power of 2. Sir, I can assure you on behalf of all the stakeholders of Shastra that this is just not a vision document book. Shastra Vision 2035 will be a living document, since it is a collective reflection of all the aspirations of every Shastraite to pave way for a transformative growth. We appreciate the work of the Vision team members, all the faculty, students, staff, alumni who have contributed in this process. This document embodies our collective goals and dreams, and without your all participation, this document would not have been possible. A heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Governor's entourage, the entire district administration of Tanjore, collector, DRO, police department, electrical department, fire services, health, PWD, and all those who have helped in executing today's event. A special thanks to the press and electronic media for this coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring down the curtains for this event, the journey for us for the next decade has just begun, and we shall reflect on the path ahead and work together in making this vision a reality. As we always have believed, together we are stronger, and together we will achieve greater things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मनातिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विदाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे